2012 we have our 40th anniversary of Scenarios in Shell, and it was a man, Pierre Vac, who put this on the map. And that was at a time when a lot of the Western oil companies were just planning on the basis of sort of more production from the Middle East and business as usual carrying on. However, Pierre Vac was a very bright man, and what he pointed to was about how what he called the rapids, the volatility in the world would rise as the Middle Eastern countries decided to nationalise those assets.
We were beginning to sketch out possibilities of the kind of development that led to OPEC, which completely changed the energy industry at the time in the 70s. In the 80s, we were looking forward and beginning to see the kinds of political developments that culminated in the fall of the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc.
A lot of people had discounted that Russia might emerge and move into the world stage. There was the oil price collapses of the 1980s. A lot of the conditions there with the softening of demand but the rising supply were in place for an oil price collapse that a lot of people weren't ready for and didn't see, but the Scenarios team had.
In the 90s, there were the forces of globalization, market liberalization, and information technology that were transforming the whole of society. And also, we could see environmental pressures building up.
One of the scenarios was about the real breakthrough and the real acceleration of China and the way that its development could be transformational. And I think we were ahead of the curve there in charting the way that that might have a really significant impact on the energy system.
We had a number of other milestones, like bringing sustainable development on the map, bringing the importance of gas as part of that on the map. We have explored many other things like disruptive technologies. What if electric mobility would really take off, and in what form?
When you look from the 2000s, you begin to see also the impact of the demand surge in resources as prosperity and population boom, and also the constraints on supply that lead to a new tightness, and are one of the features in what we now refer to as the era of volatile transitions over the next decades.
In the sort of shorter medium term, one of the critical questions in the West is how we're going to emerge from the financial crisis. I think over the very long term, there's the question as to how we transition to what we hope would be a more sustainable world. But one of the big challenges, I think, for humanity for the century as a question is whether the people of Africa, people of developing countries all around the world are going to be able to enjoy the quality of lifestyles that many of us in the West have become used to.
Being a global company ourselves, we really like to understand how that may evolve and how we can have a meaningful part in that process.